This week on Married to Medicine.
Go get. That's it.
That's so ghetto.
No matter. I'm sorry. You know ghetto, girl. You is trash. Go get some more education.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of Married to Medicine. That's season 11, episode 4. Let's get right into this recap. So the episode begins with the women arriving to Orlando, Florida for their girls' getaway. You know, I wonder why didn't they come down here to Texas? Especially if the theme is cowgirl. Y'all should have came to the heart of cowboy culture. Texas, the Lone Star State. Some of the ladies are very posh, so they ain't the biggest fans of this idea, but they're gonna do it. So they arrive at their location. It's time for lunch. They're eating, and they talk about some of the things that they talked about in the car. One of those things was Sweet Tea talking about her first time having sex. So they're talking about their first times, and Sweet Tea says that she's asking them if they enjoyed it. Toya says yes. Dr. Jacqueline says she lost her virginity with her husband, which I respect. But Contessa said something about a hymen being broken or something. Listen, I'm so glad I'm not a woman because that sounds painful. Painful. Phaedra says then that this trip is really meant for all of them to be able to bond and come together because, you know, the rear view mirror is smaller, that because we need to be looking forward and all this stuff. Then Toya says, well, Phaedra, to be honest, there's so many more things that I would like to know about you. I feel like I don't know you. When are you going to open up? And Phaedra is like, what do you want to know? And Toya says, what makes you tick? And Phaedra's like, I'm a very calm person. And Toya's like, but there's got to be something that makes you mad. No, Toya, I get it. You want to know more about Phaedra. But how are you going to ask someone what makes you tick? What makes you mad? It sounds like you want to know so that you can do it. And Phaedra is right, too, though. Like, think about it. In all her years when we saw her in Atlanta, I don't think she really ever screamed at someone or, like, exploded like that. She's more of like I'm a plot behind you, like I'm a plot on you behind your back type of person, but she's not really that much of a reactor. Toya says, I think the reason you don't want to open up is because you want to keep everything on surface level. And Phaedra says, girl, I am not having this conversation with you. Toya makes a point, though, that in this group, they've all really touched on a lot of sensitive and intimate topics about themselves, about their husbands, so I do get that. And listen, I love Phaedra, she's my favorite, but I can appreciate Toya for calling it out, you know, and trying to keep it real. But I also get Phaedra, and I think that in some settings, especially in reality TV, I think you gotta be really guarded because, I mean, if you let them know your weakness, I mean, Delilah will cut your hair and you will lose your strength. So I would be guarded to be honest. But that was it for lunch. Definitely a little tension between Toya and Phaedra, but nothing serious. They then get on some carts and they're seeing a bunch of animals on their way. And it's actually a really cool resort slash location that they are in. The hotel rooms, per se, are the shape of a wagon, which I thought was really creative. And like inside of they're small, but you know they got the little bunk beds and all that. It's maybe not what the ladies are used to when they think of going on a vacation, but you know, we gotta try some new, ladies. Some of them did like it though. I've told y'all before, I don't mind. I would literally stay in the floor if I have to. All I really need though is my own bathroom and my own space. Other than that, I'm cool. Heavenly and Jackie are sitting outside their wagon and they're just discussing what was said about Phaedra. They agree. They think Phaedra is maybe trying to get to know them, but you know, it is what it is. That is really interesting though that in, you know, just to step outside the episode for a bit, like in current present time, Phaedra, Heavenly and Quan are really going up against Phaedra on a lot of the things. So I think that's interesting. So it's a little later, and Contessa and Sweet Tea go around the wagons to tell the ladies that it's time to go out and have some fun. They go into a saloon. I love that they are all pretty much on on theme, wearing their cowboy hats and their outfits. Toya makes some comment about her outfit. It was like a little shady. Simone catches it. Then Simone brings up that at Quad's birthday party, Toya had called them fake and boring. Toya's kind of standing on that, and she jokes. She was like, well, I could see calling Heavenly fake, and I could see calling Jackie boring. And Jackie snaps and says, well, I could call you lack of substance. Listen, Jackie is lethal when the few times she does read. And then they were all like, that's too far. And Jackie's like, okay, I'm sorry. Simone then says, well, Jackie always says that an apology is for you. Sweet Tea jumps in there and says, I think that in an apology, you do need to say what you did and take responsibility for it. Toya says, can you please let this girl know that she hurt your feelings? She's talking about Heavenly. And T says, yeah, she does owe me an apology. She said many things about me and my husband. Heavenly says, you know what? I do apologize for what I said because I do have remorse and I would never want to hurt anyone. So I was thinking, okay, that's pretty good. She's doing good. But then she says, and I hope you have remorse for what you said too because my husband doesn't cheat, yours does. Oh my gosh. Then she says, I'm sorry, I apologize. You're going to take it or what? She was being shady too, saying things like, you take your time to heal. And Sweet Tea's like, stupid is what stupid does. And Heavenly says, well, stupid. Ugh, exhausting, just totally exhausting. Heavenly says, well, I've apologized and that's all you're gonna get. And T says, girl, you are so ghetto. When she said that, that reminded me of the Queen, Mariah. And I remember when she said, that ghetto gotta go. I miss Mariah so much. Contessa sticks up for Sweet Tea, which of course Heavenly, she kind of like reacted to that. She was like, oh, you know her? Contessa says, not really, but I know that she hasn't hurt me. Oh, listen, y'all, Heavenly's with the same old tricks, and as Sweet Tea said, maybe she is lonely. Maybe that's what it is. But anyway, to cheer things up, they're going to dance. There's a guy there to teach them the steps. The only ones that really got rhythm, I gotta say, are probably T, Quad, and Phaedra. That's pretty much about it. When they're done dancing, Heavenly, it's just so random. She says to Toya, you did a really good job dancing. She sounded kind of like robotic or something. And Toya says, well, you should go say that to Tisha. So Heavenly goes to Tisha and says, you did your dance really good. And poor T was just like, okay, thank you. It was weird. It was weird. So at this point, it's dark now, and they go outside to a beautiful bonfire. They're talking about what they're going to do the next day because the next day they're going to have a photo shoot, and Toya's going to be the director of that shoot. Toya and Heavenly, they had a little back and forth, nothing serious. They are then brought some food, and Jackie and Simone decide to go eat inside their wagons because they couldn't really handle the smoke. So the other girls stay outside, and it's getting later, and then Quad happens to be sitting in between Heavenly and Contessa. So she wants to be the mediator and fix them. She says, you both were very close, probably the closest out of anybody. And as she's talking, Heavenly's kind of like, looking all around. And Contessa says, well, it looks like she's pretty uninterested in having the conversation. And Heavenly says, well, maybe this person doesn't mean that much. So Quad then says, we've all been together for over 10 years. That should mean something. And Contessa says, well, maybe you can move forward with Simone then. Quad says, oh, we will. Contessa, the thing is, she just doesn't think that it's the time nor place to have this conversation, to be honest. So everyone is like leaving little by little because it's time for them to just go to bed. But for a moment, the last ones there are Heavenly, Quan, and Phaedra. And Heavenly tells them that her and Contessa were extremely close. She says, she was my friend, and I don't let a lot of people in, but I let her in. And Quad says, you need to present that to her. And Heavenly says that she doesn't want to go through the emotion of it. And I'm going to be honest, I feel a little bad for her because I do think she was being sincere. But then I remembered and I said, you know what? If you're so close with someone, you don't sell out your friendship for a YouTube video. Okay? So it is then the next day. Everybody's waking up. They're getting ready. Oh my gosh, Toya is telling them that last night she was met with a raccoon. And it was nighttime, so their eyes like get white and creepy. Oh, I saw a video a long time ago of some raccoon like biting someone and they wouldn't let go. Let me tell you, I would be scared too. Not gonna lie to y'all, I would be scared. T stopped by Simone's wagon, and Simone tells her that she should talk to Heavenly and be vulnerable. And T pretty much says, that's what I've been trying to do. I didn't like, though, that Simone said that T was, like, she had a nasty attitude. Um, what you mean? Do you not know the things that were said to her? Like, come on. Then Heavenly goes to Jackie's room to talk about last night, and Jackie tells her that she should have a one-on-one with Contessa. Heavenly says that she doesn't want to have a she does want to have a relationship with Contessa, but she doesn't want to open herself up. Jackie says, you're gonna have to open up yourself if you want a relationship with somebody. Heavenly says, well, it was a one-sided friendship anyway. And Jackie's like, no, y'all were very, very close. Like, y'all were going on trips together and everything. And Jackie also says, and you gotta remember that y'all have changed as well. So then they go all horseback riding. They play some lassos. They even play double dutch. They were having a lot of fun. They even go to a petting zoo as well. So after all those activities, they eat lunch. T had to leave them a little bit because she was going through things women go through, and then Quad is serving. She was handing them all something on a cup, and Heavenly's like, okay, you're serving the girls. So then they're talking about the jobs that they had when they were in high school, so that was fun to listen to. And then after lunch, they have 2 hours to get ready for the photo shoot. Toya, let me tell y'all, she really took this creative director role seriously. She's going room to room, asking if they can change, if they can add, if this, if that, if there's too much red, telling him to hurry up. And she was really feeling it. But you know what? Credit to Toya. She really does bring a lot to the show. But other than that, you guys, that was pretty much it for the episode. It looks like from the preview next week, things are going to go crazy with Contessa and Heavenly. So I can't wait for that. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts were about this episode. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll catch y'all next time. Y'all have a great one. Bye.